And that is right, everyone. Massive, big, right off the bat apologies for a very late start. For you guys in here in the UK, my UK viewers, you're getting me twice in 1 week. It is way after midnight here. So just like you got me 4 times last week, I know, very, very lucky. You're getting me twice this week. But do like and subscribe because this is the Reigning Rock podcast. Do, as always, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, enjoy this podcast. I am, of course, the excellent one, Ricky Goldman, and let's bring in my tag team partner. He is a man of money. He's a man of wealth. He makes $1 million man look very, very poor. He is part of smart money. He is the money man himself. He is Mark Bling Bling. Here he comes. Are you guys ready? Here he is.
Ching ching, bling bling. It's always money over here.
That is right. And how are you today? I know you just got back from. Okay. When we get to what's cooking at the table, you can mention what you've just been to. But yeah, so let's kick things off. Then right away, we're going to speed along as much as we can here. Yeah, I would have kept this until next week, till Saturday, but there's 2 pay-per-views to cover and plenty of news. So I said you guys are getting me twice in 1 week. I know, so lucky. But let's kick off with this. So, what's cooking at the table? I've not been up to much, been clanging, banging at the gym, and remade my all-out match card. The one I made. Didn't have the main event as a main event or whatever at the top of the card. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. So not very much this week. I've been to a couple of shows, but I'll get to that shortly here. As you can see, Marcus is cooking like the Rock in the kitchen, the people's kitchen, laying the smackdown on some saucepans and making sure his food isn't raw. You definitely don't want that.
Don't want that.
You want it like Monday Night Raw and WWE in general, cooked. So, what have you been up to? I know you've just been to, was it basketball? Please tell us.
Working. Work week has, it kind of kicked my butt a little bit, but that's fine. That's cool. It happens sometime. It's work. What else? Nothing else really happening this week, but today I went to a play. It's called Anthony and Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. I got the full name here.
So like the theater kind of thing. I'm not much of a theater goer at all, really, but
yeah, Anthony and Cleopatra, a Shakespeare John. So it was a good one. I know the director. She's awesome, and I saw that. I very much enjoyed it, and this is a part of the reason why we had a late start today, guys, because the money man got to go outside, and just got to show off a little bit. I got my nice sweater on, pants.
That makes it sound like I don't go outside. I do very much, many times a day, walking my dog, gym, wrestling. Mainly wrestling shows. So yeah, where we at? Where I've got 2 quick. Well, okay. I only remember pantomimes as a kid, and they don't usually do it here. I don't know if they do it over there, but like Christmas season, do they do it pantomimes over there at Christmas?
Do they do what now?
Pantomimes. You know what pantomime is?
What? A pantomime?
Okay. Snow White, Jack and the Beanstalk, Beauty and the Beast on stage.
I mean, those plays show up. Those movies come on TV. Yeah. Yeah.
And Shakespeare, thou shalt lay the smack down. I'm thinking of somebody else, not Shakespeare. That is definitely somebody else. But moving very quickly, and again, apologies, guys, for my UK viewers. Sorry for the late start, but you are getting me twice this week. Next Raining Rock podcast will be on Saturday. I was meant to have an interview for you guys, but it's not happening, as you can see. And TJ, unfortunately, can't join us again. So who knows when he will return. And I almost forgot, because we're having so much fun here, the status of this. So who left with this coming out of No Mercy? Unfortunately, TJ's not here, so he strips of it. So did Marcus win it? Where are we? That way. That wherever that, you know what I mean? Is it Marcus walking out as champion, or did I? And the question is, either way, it's a new champion. But let me just quickly play. When you find the video, and either way, new champion, but that champion, thanks to No Mercy, getting all the predictions right, is me. So I'm going to hold the title until at least the end of next month. Bad Blood and Halloween Havoc. So all of you can acknowledge me. So I am the current reigning, defending podcast prediction champion. Like I said, can I hold on to that through Bad Blood and Halloween Havoc? And Marcus or TJ does not predict on AEW, so it will just strictly be WWE. Anyway, speaking of AEW, we'll get to that later here, though. But let's get to the next segment quickly, and that is, you guys should know the news all the way from Hollywood, the news that is splashed all over the red carpet, and that is... I always can't find the video. Ugh. And that is, where are we? There we are. So, of course, movie talk. 2 movies I've watched, both on Netflix, because unfortunately my Fire Stick is broken, like Matt Hardy. But I have ordered a new one, which will be coming tomorrow, because I can't live without my Fire Stick, because I watch so many movies for free. But I did watch on Netflix The Deliverance. Decent horror, supernatural, demonic thing. Decent movie. And The Present. Not a present as a gift, but The Present as in kind of right now. Kiddie movie, but it was okay. Son, have you watched any movies since last week? Watched any movies or anything else on TV? Have you been watching the Paralympics? I know you watched the Olympics, but do you watch the Paralympics? And we've got no voice here. I can't think of the rest without any voice.
So the Paralympics is on while I'm at work, so I can't really watch it. I did watch one documentary. It was about the Utah Jazz basketball team. They've been in the NBA for 50 years. So it was a cool documentary to watch about one of the NBA franchises, how they came to be, the struggles, the good times, the bad times, what they're trying to do now under new ownership and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Have you been to see NBA's basketball? Yeah?
Yes, I've been to a basketball game before, yes.
Now, you've been to me live. I mean, not live. Okay. This is how much I know about basketball. The big team, Chicago Bulls, for example. I know them. But have you been to something like that?
I've been to Philadelphia. I live near Philadelphia, so I've been to a Sixers game. Come on, man.
I've only heard of Chicago Bulls because of Michael Jordan. That's about it. So, and Magic Johnson, I think, was a player.
Yeah, years ago, in the late '80s, early '90s.
And of course, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James I've heard of, but
All right,
again,
that's a little bit more. I mean, LeBron James still plays in the league now.
but I wouldn't. If you asked me to name all the players in the Philadelphia team, I wouldn't know one. So, but let's move quickly along to the two shows I've been to. If you want to hear the review, that's in the description, but I will quickly go over both shows right now because it is time for Sam. Take it away. It is time for.
It is now time for Wrestling Days Out with Ricky Goldman.
That is indeed right. Wrestling Days Out with Ricky Goldman. Two shows I've been to. Both good shows. I went to one on Friday, bought a t-shirt, drank that much. When I got home, I'd find out I lost the t-shirt. Not my fault the drinks were cheap. That's not my fault. That's the venue's fault. And then went to one on Saturday. Yeah, that was a decent show. Obviously geared me up for All Out. Wonderful, in the words of Matt Hardy. Yeah, both decent shows. Like I said, if you want to hear my review of them, that's in the description. And my next one, is next Sunday, and then the 28th. So another 4 shows this month. But let's take a very quick break. No, quick break, ad, and then we'll get into a bit of some No Mercy, some All Out, and then other stuff. But, yes, let me play this first. So it's indeed right. Pro Wrestling Tees Goldman's. Many designs to choose from. If you cannot purchase a t-shirt, as I always say, get it shared, get the word out there, spread the word, do all of that. And on my socials on the screen right now. But it is time for some wrestling chatter. And we've got 2 pay-per-views to go over, 10,000 wrestling shows, and everything in between. It feels like 10,000. But it is time for, again, I've lost the video. It's right at the end, I think. Yes, it is.
It is now time for Wrestling.
So, from your reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight podcast prediction champion, it is Wrestling Roundup. Sam did a great job there, but I'll also announce it. So take a deep breath, guys. We start with No Mercy. The last time we went over wrestling, No Mercy, it was the weekend of No Mercy. Fantastic pay-per-view, but this was the first time that Marcus watched the NXT pay-per-view. So we kicked off with fast-paced, high-flying action for the NXT Tag Team titles. Chase U defending against Nathan Frazer in Axiom. Good match to kick things off. Obviously, the story was after the match, but we'll get to that here. So, Marcus, your thoughts on... This is your first time seeing Frazer in Axiom. I told you they were fast-paced. So, yeah, your thoughts on them and this match.
Very fast, like you said, very fast-paced tag team. It reminds me of, like, some like tag teams I've seen from like back in the day, like especially like some like WCW tag teams, like the Filthy Animals. Whenever Eddie and Rey Mysterio would tag team, they was very fast. They're not. I mean, of course, they're not luchadors by any means, but like they're very quick, very fast guys. The match was really good. I did very much like the match. I feel like the right result happened. Now, mind you, a lot of us were also saying that like Axiom, that Frazier was going to turn on Axiom. So it took us through a different spin due to the fact that it was actually what's fucking
Rich Holland.
Holland actually betrayed Chase U. So I like the fact that so many people predicted one thing and it was not that thing. So that was actually the most cool part dealing with that match. The match was great, but what happened afterward was better.
Totally agree. And as Roman Reigns, if you didn't watch it, certainly go and watch it on the WrestleMania Behind the Curtain. I think it was a documentary. We're going to call it a documentary. He said, when you can keep swerving them, that's when wrestling is at its best. So, yes, we thought Axiom, Nathan Fraser was going to be either they were going to turn on each other. They didn't. We have brand new NXT Tag Team Champions in Nathan Fraser and Axiom. And the turn came after the match. Ridge Holland turning on Chase U. They made Ridge Holland look like a complete and utter badass, look like a monster. He's had a very good pushing since going back to NXT. Yeah, they made him look like an absolute, like he was Brock Lesnar or something. The DDT or whatever his move was like a DDT on the announce table. Andre Chase having to get carted out. So they made Ridge Holland look like ruthless, a beast. Yeah.
It looked great. It looked good.
We're then going to more high-flying action with WWE versus NXT. Wesley taking on Zachary Wentz. I believe this was Marcus's first time seeing Zachary. Great to see the X Division title on WWE TV. I did think that Wesley was going to get involved in that match and cost Zachary. Good match here. I was really split down the middle. I thought I really didn't know which way they would go. Yeah, good match coming out with the win. This is probably leaning into a rematch, probably October 1st, and then they'll do a third match at Halloween Havoc, I would have thought. But coming out with a win, proving that a TNA superstar can be a TNA wrestler can be a WWE superstar. Zachary Wentz with the dub. So your thoughts on this match and your first time seeing Zachary, I believe.
It was my first time seeing Zachary and Wes, to be honest with you. Because I never watched NXT and I barely watched TNA since they've been there. Very fast-paced cruiserweight type match. That's a word that we don't use no more. We don't use the term cruiserweight no more, but it was very much a cruiserweight match. To be honest with you, I thought Wes Lee was going to win. And honestly, that the part with the chair should have happened to keep the rivalry going, because like right now I feel like now the rivalry's going to be at a standstill. But it was a really good match, very fast paced. But yeah, I did like the match.
Well, it was just a backstage segment on NXT, so not really a result of any kind. But the Rascals are facing Fraser and Axiom next week. This week. This week for me, next week for you, if that makes any sense. This coming Tuesday. So I think West costs them the titles, leading to another match at October 1st when NXT debut on the CU. CW, it's on the CW, isn't it?
Yes.
Next up, women's action, Women's North American Championship. Kalani Jordan, Wendy Cho, Wendy, good match here. Wendy looked good in defeat. I think Kalani's racking up those wins. There seemed to be nothing really for her coming up. There was nothing confirmed on NXT. I would imagine she holds it for a while. Yeah, good match. And was this your first time? You call her the Pillow Girl, I'll call her Wendy Cho.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing Pillow Girl in a match. Honestly, this is actually it was my second or third time watching Kalani Jordan in a match. She's getting better each and every week. Every time I see her, she's getting better. That's a good thing. I still don't think she should have been the North American champion, but that's neither here nor there. But she put in a good outing, put on a good show. I do, once again, I want the Pillow Girl to win just because I want to see a character like that on NXT actually like holding gold. But it was a good match though.
Do you think that Wendy looked good in defeat? Yeah, I don't think she looked bad losing.
The thing that happened after the match too, kind of.
Oh yeah,
it was a good transition to another feud. That's the part that I actually like more. That it transitioned her from, not having nothing to do to still having something to do on the show.
So yes, Tim Paxley. She's not well. Okay, when I say the word star, she's not a star. If you ask any random person, name a wrestler, they ain't saying, "Oh yes, Tim Paxley," ever. But they're building her as a star in NXT. Of course, she had a match on NXT, which we'll get to. But yeah, I did like the gimmick, the promo from the person that saved her on NXT. Anyway, let's move right along here. Obafemi, Tony D'Angelo for the men's North American Championship. Oba is never losing. The whole roster might as well just retire. He's never, ever losing. He has been in 28 matches, and I think he's lost 7. So that is damn good. Tony didn't look bad in defeat either, just like Wendy Cho. Wendy Cho. Yeah, good match. Like I said, Tony didn't look bad coming out of this. There were times I thought he could get it done. I'm still holding out for Moose coming into WWE or NXT. I think Obafemi and Moose would kill it. Those two squaring off. But yeah, good match. What was your thoughts?
Really good match. Good power match. It's not often, because when I think of Tony D'Angelo, he doesn't look like a big dude, but it was a good match between two big guys. Oba winning. Listen, he's going to keep racking up the wins. I personally feel like he's going to be the second ever double champion in NXT. Because he's awesome. I didn't know the sit-out powerbomb was his finisher, so that's cool. It looks devastating coming from a person his size, how big he is as a person. So, good match though. I've never paid attention during the Tony D'Angelo matches, so luckily now I've seen him work, and it's pretty damn good. So, definitely a good match.
Yeah, and Oba just seems to just like Logan Paul, gets better and better in each match. So does Oba. Be that in a match, be that in a promo. He just improves. He really gets it from it, I believe. And I don't know, I think he might have been a football player.
So Oba, you said Oba or Tony?
Oba, was he a football player?
No, Oba was a shot put thrower.
Okay.
He threw shot
right
put
then.
in college.
Okay, then I won't finish my thought. My thought was he was a former football player, but he wasn't. But let's move into more women's action for the NXT Women's Championship. Jada Parker, Roxanne Perez, good match here. Jada is face now. When did she turn face? I guess we're not meant to ask these questions. But yeah, Jada's face now. Really good showing. Good match. Good. I'm glad that Jada got another match on a pay-per-view. But she did come up short and lost. Roxanne Perez, still your reigning defending NXT Women's Champion. But the bigger story was after the match. Julia is in WWE NXT. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but they are making her look like a star like that. Right away, they're making her look like a star, which we'll get to shortly here, but if she was in the other company, she'd probably win. She'd job out to Mercedes Moné and then be on Rampage for the rest of her career. Whoopee! And in WWE, right away, right off the bat, they know how good she is. Asuka. So for those who don't know who Julia is, from Stardom, where Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane came from. So you see the talent that's already come. So I'm glad that Julia's in WWE. So, Marcus, your thoughts on the match? And I know you don't know who Julia is, but your thoughts of her in WWE?
The match was really good. You could tell Jada's still a little new to the ring, but she did put on a really good outing against Roxanne Perez. Roxanne's going to keep winning, but I want her to lose at some point in time, because at some point in time, she's going to have to get called up. She's going to have to get called up, and I don't want her being called up and being the champion. That's not going to work. Julia, don't know who she is, so me personally, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Until I see a match from Julia, I don't give a shit, because, yeah, she did all that good stuff in Japan, good for her, but the American, the response even on Instagram was, "Who was that? Who 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 was that?" And honestly, I agree with their settlements, because for those of y'all that don't know, I don't make wrestling my life, and if someone new pops up, they better have been from AEW or from TNA, because if they're not, I don't know who they are.
I probably couldn't tell you all of Julia's matches, but for what I've seen of her, mainly on YouTube, yeah, she's good. And we'll get to when Roxanne's losing when we go over NXT. Anyway, in our main event, say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry going out to again WWE versus TNA. Joe Hendry going out to Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. Whoop that Trick Williams, your special guest referee. So I'm surprised at the finish. How he got it completely. I thought Pete Dunne was going to take him. He did take him out, but after the match. But this was a good match. Joe Hendry's super over. People love him. Just like when he was waving his hands and like he's a puppet master, and we are all our puppets and he controls us all. Good match. Henry looked good. I don't think he looked bad in defeat. Now I thought they would have protected him by Trick getting took out. Oh, okay. A normal referee did come out, but it was Trick who made the count. I thought it was going to be Trick laid out. A normal referee comes out, and that's how they protect Joe. But they didn't. I suppose maybe they wanted not a clean win, but a clean win for a heel, I suppose. Ethan Page going over. Yeah, still your NXT champion. Pete Dunne taking Trick Williams out after the match. Before I get your thoughts, Marcus, and then after the match again, Joe Hendry said backstage to Shawn Michaels, anytime, any place, any show, I will turn up. I've got a feeling we'll probably see him again around Halloween Havoc. Maybe he's the host, maybe. Or maybe the Rumble. But that's in February, so it's a little bit of a long way away. But your thoughts on the match, and do you think it was the right call?
So, was it the right call? The fan in me says no because I fuck with Joe Hendry, but it was the right call. And the way they made the call was actually really interesting. You know, Trick stopping the count from the other referee, Trick reluctantly doing the count, even though Ethan Page did the low blow, which led to him hit his finisher, which is the Ego's Edge. Is that what he calls it?
The Ego Edge, which basically is a Razor's Edge. And then Damian Priest hits a Razor's Edge. So
yeah, we already got too many wrestlers hitting the Razor's Edge. All right, so really good match. Amazing outing from Joe Hendry. I don't think this hurt him because he's going to keep showing up. He's still over like Rover. And I think what he meant by any show, any match, blah 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 blah, the CW premiere. He's going to be there for that. I mean, why would you not have one of the hottest wrestlers on the planet at the CW premiere, right? That doesn't make sense. But the right call was made. It was a great match. It had me hanging on to my seat. And I mean, Ethan Page is still the champion. Fucking asshole.
We'll get to a game that's coming up on October 1st here soon, but I think he holds it for a while. Way past Halloween Havoc. So then the next pay-per-view is probably Deadline, which is a very unique pay-per-view. It's like against the clock. It's kind of, if you remember, was it Unforgiven that they scramble? And they only did this once. It was a good concept, the scramble match. People will come out after every 5 minutes. That's kind of like the Deadline match. But I presume they'll still do Deadlines, so I'll still explain this. If you get pinned or submitted, you have to go to a penalty box for a minute. So there could be 2 people in that penalty box and they'll fight. Could be 3 people. Could be nobody. Oh, no, it's not for the title. Oh, God. Okay, it's for number 1 contendership. So does Joe Hendry win that? We'll see. And then there'll probably be a takeover event before the Rumble. Anyway, my rating for NXT, No Mercy, very good. Solid gold. What's your rating?
Gold.
We're going to Monday Night Raw, the brand of red. We've got a brand new person on commentary, Joe Testatore. I get your thoughts in a second, Marcus, but it'll take work, and I understand that. But he didn't flow with Barrett. He took me out of the match. A good commentary team is just there in the background. You're not really meant to notice them. They just flow with the match. They're just a background noise. He took me out of it, and he said something like, the shoulder by Elias right I was like, he's won, because I'm used to Michael Cole, right? Moscow, what's it called? Torpedo Moscow. And Joe went, oh, it's a shoulder. And then he won. I was like, what? Because he just took me out of the match. But your thoughts on Joe, how do you think he did on commentary?
Joe Testatore is he has to get used to calling professional wrestler. It's not something you're going to just be able to do overnight. Because Joe Testatore calls college football. He calls my favorite kind of football, college football. It's a different transition from calling college football versus calling WWE. So give him some time.
Yeah, really got a flow. And Wade Barrett at times just looked at him like, what are you saying? Because Wade Barrett just seemed lost. Nobody can be Pat McAfee or Mauro Ranello, but anyway, moving swiftly along here, we kicked off Raw officially after Joe made his announcements that he was on the commentary team. Rhea Ripley comes out, then Dominic Mysterio did. Liv Morgan attacking Rhea, clipping the knee. This is probably leading to, which I don't think they should, Rhea, Liv, a bad blood. Rhea wins a title back, but I don't think she needs a title. I think she's above the title now. But that's probably what they're going to do. Your thoughts on the opening segments?
I mean, it's Rhea Ripley cutting a promo, getting her match against Liv at Bad Blood, right? As you said, I feel like Rhea is actually no. I think Rhea needs the title. The feud is above the title, but she needs the title. If that makes sense, because the feud went above the title, right? Liv Morgan took away everything Rhea loved. Took away the Judgment Day, took away Dom, took her championship. If Rhea could get one of those things back, it kind of helps. And it gives the new Judgment Day something to vie after again. Because, I mean, the big storyline with the ladies is, well, I took everything from you. But now that's starting to fizzle out. So I feel like Rhea might be getting the title back. But that's strong.
It wouldn't shock me if they do it next week or not. In 2 weeks. It wouldn't shock me if they do it on the go-home show before Raw, which completely annoys me. It's like, why? You've got a pay-per-view coming up. Anyway, if they do Liv, Rhea, and Dominic's a special guest referee, and he also would help Liv, does that protect Rhea? What do you think?
Say it one more time.
If it's Liv, Rhea, Dominic's a guest referee, Dominic would also help Liv. Does that help protect Rhea from? So she's lost, but it was because of a dirty referee.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, special, stipulations like that helps.
Into the first match of the night, and Maxine Dupree has improved. I don't know who's been training her, but she's improved. Alfred Kaname, and it's after the match that, oh god, I just remembered what was after the match. American Made, taking on Alfred Kaname. Good match, like I said, Maxine Dupree's improved. What's a woman called in Avinile with the submission, tapping out Maxine Dupree. Yeah, at least Max does. So Avinale's out getting wins, and the Creed brothers are getting wins. I'm not mad at that. It's just what followed the match. But anyway, your thoughts on this one?
Listen, first of all, Maxine Dupree always gets better every time she's on TV. Whether it was in her promo work, whether it was in her in-ring work, the woman gets better. I give her all the credit in the world for getting as good as she's getting, and she's going to keep getting better. Match was pretty good. You know, that's a feud that's going to eventually end, sadly, but it's a good feud that they have. And I like the match. I like Maxine Dupree. I like how she's improving. I mean, the right winner was chosen. And what was it? Wyatt Six stuff that happened after the match?
Yes, but back to Maxine Dupree, I wouldn't say she improves every week. She's just seemed to have just improved out of nowhere. Like, she must have been putting a lot of training in. But yes, Chad Gable Cole. Oh, God, this is what killed the gimmick. Now the gimmick is dead. The Undertaker's just buried that gimmick. Anyway, Chad Gable calls out Uncle Howdy. He comes out and speaks in his real voice, and it felt like he was struggling to be like, I'm doing it for my brother, and like awful. White Six come out behind him. We're getting a match next week. I think it might be a street fight on the Raw tomorrow, for me tomorrow anyway. Today. I'm very mixed up here just because of what time it is, but yes, I think this has killed the gimmick dead. What do you think?
No, it didn't. Stop trying to kill their gimmick, yo. You are a part of the problem. You're trying to kill their gimmick. Their gimmick not killed. It's there. It makes it cooler this way. We know who they were anyway. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this fact. Marks would have hurt this gimmick more than what WWE has done. It's a good thing they reveal who they are because they can use who the characters they're portraying as their other ego, their alter egos, versus Marks being fucking Marks and ruining wrestling as they always the fuck do.
I don't mind giving them a chance, but I still don't get. I get that he's doing it for his brother, but other than that, I've not been impressed. I like that Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy main evented last week, but cool for them. But I know. And how are you going to have Sister Abigail wrestle? Okay, she was good in. Well, she's still Nikki Cross. Anyway, let's more so into women's action. Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega. Let's do the pause. The forehead club. Now, Shayna Baszler with the win. So, was it 2 weeks ago, the triple threat match for the tag team titles? Shayna got pinned, and I was like, oh, they've just ruined their push. This got it back for me, so I enjoyed it. A quick win over Zelina. Yeah. What do you think?
It was a match. It was just a match. I wasn't. They don't know what they're doing with that crew of those women.
Yeah. CM Punk coming out, cutting a promo, got a great reaction. He now wants to face Gunther, but there's a certain somebody says, no, not yet. And I'm not laughing because he was stupid. I'm laughing just how great it is. Like, there were those feuding over a bracelet. Drew McIntyre comes out, blindsides Punk, 3 claymores, breaking the bracelet, shoving it down his throat. There's your Hell in a Cell match made. And again, how great is this storytelling? They're feuding over a bracelet. See him, and he feuded for 7 months since the Rumble. Fantastic storytelling. So, yeah, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, we all kind of seen this coming, right? Drew absolutely needs a third match. Absolutely needs a third match with Punk. Now that the bracelet's kind of out of the picture, but not really. It's good storytelling because even before the bracelet, this was about Drew hating the fact that CM Punk is back. I agree with him. I agree with him and Seth Rollins. CM Punk came back, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was hype about him. Him getting injured at the Rumble happened. But, Drew being the great social media presence he was, made it hilarious. Punk calls Drew the title at WrestleMania. Like, the rivalry has been hot and it has had ebbs and flows about what it's about. The bracelet is much more of a recent thing, but it still creates a good ebb and flow with their rivalry. So,
and you've had Punk, and this is how good it is. Punk lost at SummerSlam because of the bracelet. Drew lost because the bracelet was on his mind. But now that's out the picture. They're going to focus on fighting. Now, rumors are Punk, Gunther at Survivor Series. So do you have Punk winning at Bad Blood?
Yeah. And I hope to God that Gunther tears his ass up.
Well, he's not winning the title. I think Gunther's champion forever. Yeah, people have said Mania should lose it. I think way past that. Way past. Ilya Dragunov, not with the shoulder. The torpedo Moscow Joe Tessitore gets the move right. Defeated Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio out of the ring, giving Dragon Lee Ilya the match. They put on so that it became a singles match. That was good. I don't see Ilya winning the entire thing. I still think that's Jay. Oh, cool. Yeah, cool win for Ilya.
Who did Ilya beat?
He pinned Dragon Lee.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to give Ilya a push again because it was going, then it stopped. So good that they're giving him a push, allowing him to get some ring time on Raw. Good.
Next up in women's tag team action, and the spot from as Cara came from the top and landed because Bianca was meant to catch her and just landed head first into the bottom of the announce table, and all her eye was cut up. So maybe they went to win before that. I don't know, but Holy Union do win, earning a title shot this week, next week, whatever on the next Raw. Why they don't stick that at Bad Blood? Because just why not? Anyway, your thoughts on the Holy Union going on to get another title shot?
They're a weak tag team. I don't believe in them. It's not. No, just they're not a good tag team. I'm not a fan. I don't see it. I don't think a lot of people see it. Damage Control definitely should have won that, but it is what it is. Maybe
it was injury. Maybe they were meant to win. If they weren't meant to win, and the Holy Union were, I like that they've took the titles off them and they're keeping them looking strong. And then that makes Jade and Cargill, same person. Jade and Bianca look stronger because they're beating a person that's just won. That's how you book Tony Khan. Gunther came out cutting a promo. Sami Zayn also did. Looks like them two at Bad Blood. I'd be very shocked if they did it on a random Raw with Bad Blood coming up. Sami Zayn obviously defeating Gunther at WrestleMania, which I would have had. I would have had Gunther win that, but that was WrestleMania. They should put in a good match. What do you think?
Definitely going to be a good match. Because they put on good matches before, so it's good. It's always good for someone to be in the ring with someone that can be really good. Someone that they know in the ring, someone that can absolutely sell the hell out their moves, and they have good chemistry in the ring. So I'm awaiting them to in the ring again, but this time being for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And Zayn kind of go promo saying people like The Rock, Austin, Brett, etc., Shawn Michaels started with the ICW what's ICW? IC title. ICW is a company in the UK.
Insane Posse Wrestling.
Also, a company here in Scotland, Insane Championship Wrestling. Anyway, Sami Zayn moving on to the world title pictures are cool. Hopefully, again, they don't do that on Raw. Ugh. Braun Strowman also with a triple threat. I think injured, seemed to be injured. Braun Strowman knocking off Sheamus and Pete Dunne, a pin Pete Dunne. So you've got Sheamus, Jay, Ilya, and Braun. Braun, Jay, Sheamus. Oh, no, Braun, Pete Dunne. Thought Pete Dunne was already in the match. Is he not? It's Jay, Braun, Ilya. Who's a fourth? In the fatal four-way on tomorrow on Raw. I thought it was Pete Dunne. I thought he'd already qualified.
I don't know. Why would it be a 4?
Or have I got this wrong and Pete Dunne cost Sheamus? So Pete Dunne might be in the fatal 4-way, but it built Braun Strowman getting the win. So your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, Braun Strowman being involved in the IC title picture. Interesting stuff. That's actually pretty interesting. He's improved a lot in the ring too. So give him that.
I still think he's going to be the person we're going to talk about next, and they'll do the same old thing that we say every single time about Jay. Put a title on him. Because they yeeted through the entire commercial break. Tag team action, the Judgment Day taking on Jey Uso, Damian Priest. Damian worked well together to knock off the Judgment Day. So they gave Jey the win. He's probably going to win tomorrow and then just go ahead and lose to Braun. Anyway, anything to add?
No.
Okay, then. Rating for Raw, I'm going to say, despite the horrendous commentary, Silver. What's your rating?
Silver minus.
NXT saw Trick Williams come on out, followed by Ethan Page. Pete Dunne attacked. They are to be separated. They told the story throughout the night. Yeah. Your thoughts on how they kicked off the last week's? This week. How they kicked off NXT? Yeah.
I'm going to say last week. I'm going to say last week because it's last week to me. Compelling. Good stuff. I mean, Ethan comes out, talks. Trick comes out. Trick also has a rap song about Pete Dunne, so it's pretty funny too. But good way to start off NXT.
I think they allowed Pete Dunne to be the bruiserweight on NXT, not so much on Raw. He feels a little bit held back, just a little bit. But he's like, off you go, Pete. Just go out there and kill people on NXT. The Rascals earning an NXT Tag Team title shot next week, defeating Gallus and Hank and Tank. This is maybe your first time seeing these, but Hank and Tank, just to be considered, they've really worked well to get there.
Did I even look at this match, or was I cooking? I think I was cooking at this time, so I wasn't paying attention to it. I did see that the Rascals was talking to them, which means I missed the match featuring the Rascals because I've never seen them wrestle still. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be two cruiserweight teams going for the NXT championship, the tag team championship.
And our thought said Wesley costs the Rascals, leading to another match October 1st. In singles action, Oro Mensah getting defeated by Lexus King. Okay, your thoughts?
Same thing. Okay, sure.
Rosemary really needs to start racking up wins. I think next week she needs to win her and win. Okay, right. Tatum Paxley went over Rosemary. Lyra Valkyrie, then Rosemary and Wendy beat down Tatum. Lyra Valkyrie returned. They're going to have a match next week, tag team match. That's where I think Rosemary needs, because otherwise it's just, you've had Joe Henry getting wins. Jordan Grace has had a win. Rascals has had many wins, but Rosemary's not getting wins. So does this lead to Lyra turning on Tatum because she's doing nothing on the main roster? What do you think?
I don't think this leads to Laurel turning on Tatum. I think she's literally just down there to help Tatum, deal with a problem, which is that, the team of Rosemary and Pillow Girl. Yeah, I think she's just down there for a legit reason, and then she's going to go back up to Raw to do nothing.
No, okay, right. NXT's after Raw, and it looks like Natalia's returning. Where's she been? because she said on last week's Raw, I'm going to go in Canada, I'm going to give somebody a call. That's got to be Natalia or Trish.
Or Trish.
It's probably Natalia. But NXT's after Raw, so she could turn heel. But yeah, it's played as a throwaway tag team match. Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams, double count out. They destroyed each other. They went through the announce table and carried on fighting. What did you think of that?
I mean, it's probably one of the better feuds that's happening in NXT right now. Pete Dunne telling Trick to figure it out, and I think Pete likes to fight. Still a lot from Sheamus. He likes to fight, and I think this was a part of the whole thing about like figure it out. Like, let's see how tough Trick is when he got his back up against the wall. Let me keep fighting him and doing this and the third until he gets a win over me, because technically Trick Williams has a win, doesn't have a win over Pete Dunne. He doesn't have one. So,
and next week you're getting Trick, Pete, last man standing. Winner goes on to face Ethan October 1st. That's probably going to be Trick winning, and then he probably loses to Ethan. What do you think?
Nah, that's when Trick gets it back. Well, yeah, that's when Trick gets his title back.
Maybe Punk. I think he's Punk and then Orton. Maybe Punk helps. Maybe they do that. They give him something to do. Javon Evans lost last week, won this week, or this NXT we're talking about, against Joe Coffey. Yeah, cool. Anything to add?
He got his win back, and it is going to result to a third match.
Probably.
It's going to be a tag match with Gallus versus Evans and Cedric.
Yeah.
That's what I see coming.
Yeah. Hopefully, they seem to be giving Cedric something to do in NXT. On the main roster, he was doing nothing. And he's super talented. I think he had a match with, I think it was Dragon Lee, and they killed it. And then nothing. Obafemi continued to rack win after win after win. This time it was Stacks. Yeah, no, I'm not shocked here. Are you?
Nope. It's over.
Jada Parker taking on Jasmine Nix. So now Jade is definitely face. She picks up the win against Jasmine, then gets beaten down. No one came to her aid. That was a bit surprising. What are your thoughts?
Miss Parker don't got no friends. She doesn't have no friends yet. She just turned face, so she got to start getting some friends.
So does this make OTM face, or are they still heel? Who knows?
Who the hell they are.
Okay, well, Lucian Price and gosh, Bronco Nima. Of course, you don't know who they are. So okay, let's move on.
You saying names that was going to help. That don't mean nothing to me.
And our main event segment saw the reigning, defending NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez come out. Lights went out. Everybody was expecting a certain person who did turn up, but it was Chelsea Green. It's like, what? Julia comes out, takes out Chelsea. It is Julia Roxanne for the title, October 1st. Julia coming in her first match, the championship match. Wow. So she's winning gold right away. She's not losing. So that's how you make a star. Right away, right into the title picture. So yeah, your thoughts on this?
No one knows who Julia is. This is bad booking. You don't just throw someone there. Like, give the girl. I hope she has a match before. I hope she has a match before the next NXT PLE, because if she goes straight into the NXT and PLE without a match beforehand to allow the audience to know who she is, I'm gonna stop watching NXT for that. Anytime, I swear to God, man, because like that's so stupid. Chelsea Green, we know the name of. Like, I'd rather see Chelsea Green versus Roxanne Perez than what
Julia.
Yeah, there we go. Then Julia.
It's October 1st on the debut of the CW network. She gets a title shot, so doubtful she wrestles. The NXT crowd know who she is, so I suppose that's all that matters.
Oh, they are marked.
Rating, nice, strong NXT, I'll say. Silver minus, your rating.
Give it a bronze plus.
And not level up. Speed, started with the women's tournament. Io Sky over Lyra Valkyria. Cool. She continued to win. Silver. I like speed, and I like that. Just that it might be getting a bit stale, let's add the women's division. So let's go into your show, the blue brand that is Smacky D's.
All right, the restaurant quality stuff. Now, sadly, just like last week, I did not watch the show. American football was on TV. The Philadelphia Eagles that was on TV. So wrestling took a back seat to the NFL. So I'm getting these results strictly off of WWE's website. All right. So I might be out of order, but I'm just going to give you what I got from WWE. This is directly from the source. Solo challenged Cody for a match for the title, and it's still Cage next week on the USA premiere. Your thoughts first, Ricky?
Cool, but who sees Solo winning this? Nobody. Now, how does it's okay, a steel cage match, so how does the bloodline get involved to let Kevin Owens come out and turn heel on Cody? How do they do that? Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening here. Low blow to Cody, a rematch at Bad Blood. So how they get to that, I don't know, unless it's like they raise the cage and then he does it.
For me, there's not enough heels on SmackDown. There's not enough heels. Let's rerun this. Let's run this back. And they're running this back as like as a right now, just what we're doing plan to try to develop a heel. That's what they're doing. They're I don't like it. It's weird. Stagnant booking at best. According to WWE, the next thing that came on was Bayley defeating Tiffany Stratton. According to them, Nia Jax jumped on the apron in an attempt to interfere. She accidentally distracted the official away from Tiffany, pinning Bayley. What's your thoughts on Bayley beating Tiff?
Very quickly, just before I'll go back, just very quickly, about a second, going back to, I know I'd say Cody's awful, blah, 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 but that's all Ricky Gulman character. But they do know to give him good opponents, Owens, Styles, Logan, so they know at least that. The booking has been awful, but at least they know to put him in the ring with people he's going to get a good match out of. Bayley beating Tiffany, yeah, cool. Don't know how this builds Tiffany to maybe cash in one day. Probably not anytime soon. Bayley, Naira, Bad Blood. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. This is not making Tiff strong, but it is fueling the feud between Nia and Tiff. That's what this is supposed to do. It's supposed to create a rift between the two of the girls. There's a whole lot of WWE. What the hell? I hate the way WWE has this all set up. So they only have like videos of stuff. They do a terrible job trying to help us out here.
A good way to find out, and just because Raw is so hectic, I still even though I'm watching, I still look up the results just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I just type into Google Raw results, and it just comes up with a page and says them all. Just so then, even though I'm watching, it's just so I'm clear on what's happened.
Right.
But
The second match was Giovanni Vinci versus Apollo Crews, with Apollo Crews beating Da Vinci. I feel like this is a waste of time because we did all that cool stuff for Da Vinci, and now like his first time back in the ring, he loses to Apollo Crews.
two things. One, WB apparently hated the return. That's for the backstage thing. And two, this goes back to NXT. Apollo, Giovanni, Jesus Christ. Giovanni Vinci and Apollo Crews had a little mini feud in NXT, so it's coming off of that, but at least you're giving the Crews a win. So cool. But it's a Giovanni Vinci you've not seen for months, and the last time you saw him, he got destroyed by Ludwig Kaiser. So it's a win for Apollo Crews, and it means nothing. So
that's what I'm saying. It's a thought, but whatever. Third match: Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller. That's an interesting one. I wonder why they're doing that. But Owens got the win.
it's another win for him. Theory and Waller, like, when was the last match that they won? Probably no. I think they were. I think they might have retained. Oh no, they beat Austin Truth on Raw.
Didn't they beat Miz and Truth
a number of weeks ago? Yeah. So
yeah.
that was their last win. Whoopee.
Yeah.
There's a win for Owens again, building for his heel turn to get a title shot. Another title shot. Ugh.
Next thing, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade had a nice little segment in which they were it's pretty much gonna be a triple threat match for the United States title. Let's just say that.
Do that at Bad Blood and not the SmackDown before Bad Blood. I like that Andrade.
It's supposed to be the SmackDown premiere on USA.
That's next week. Do I mean the SmackDown before Bad Blood, which is October 4th? I like Andrade's in the title picture. Can't see Knight losing anytime soon, but yeah, cool.
Fourth match, Chelsea Green with Piper Niven. Chelsea Green. That's my best Samantha Irvin. Faced off against Mi Chen. Chelsea Green beat Mi Chen. This is to try to push Chelsea Green, not just on SmackDown, but also with NXT. I like that move for her. And I hope she keeps getting pushed because Chelsea Green has paid her dues with WWE, and it's time for the lady to start getting some dubs.
And Mi Chen just came off. I don't think she looked bad in defeat against Nia. She just came off that. So this is not a huge win, but it's a win for Chelsea against a strong competitor. So cool.
Yep. Last match, the Bloodline versus the Street Profits in DIY. So it was an 8-person tag match. With the Bloodline getting the dub. Okay.
Feels momentum for Solo heading into next week. So
yeah, it was just Yep.
Now, do you have? Did he have Reigns return next week? So it's Reigns Solo at Bad Blood.
Possibly for once again, it's the USA premiere of SmackDown, so they might be doing all this extravagant stuff for that premiere. From what I've read, SmackDown sound like a blah kind of show, so I'm giving it a bronze plus.
Probably the same, really. And I don't know, I sent it in the chat, but the SmackDown logo, I don't know if you've seen that, the brand new SmackDown logo next week. No dramatic change, but it is a change. So your thoughts on the new logo?
It's no change, really. Like, give us a cool set. That's what I want. I want the fist. I want the fist set again.
I don't think you'll get. Oh, okay, so well, two things. One, probably never a new set because Triple H wants a small set to fit more people in. That's good business. And also, if they do a new set, it's probably when they go to NXT Netflix next year, but probably not because who's watching for the stage? You watch for the action in the ring. If they have a cool stage, cool, but see what happens in the ring. So, but in saying that, WrestleMania was just two, like the big massive screen and an X and an L. Like, oh, they could have done better. Level up quickly. Izzy Dane continues to rack up wins and she knocked off Layla Diggs. Danny Palmer went over Laney Reed and Dante Chen continues winning and he knocked off Drake Moreau. Silver. I'm going to do AEW all together. I'm going to do all three shows. So I'm going to just quickly run through Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. I think they did Collision and Rampage at the same time. So no idea. These are just, I don't watch it apart from the pay-per-views. Wonderful pay-per-view this weekend. So let me go quickly. So Dynamite, Okada beat Kyle Fletcher. Title on the line. Okay. Jimmy Hayter back to winning ways. Again, I think. She knocked off Robin Renegade. Mariah May. Now, why they didn't do Mariah May, Nyla Rose for the title all out, I don't know. But there you go, they didn't. So they had Mariah May get a big, big win at All In and then did nothing. Yeah, the momentum just gone. Just anyway. And in your main events, you have 4 matches on Dynamite. Pac and BB's the Blackpool Combat Club beat Kyle Fletcher. No, sorry, Kyle O'Reilly, Will Ospreay. So Will Ospreay, who's meant to be the guy, was on the losing team. He got pinned or not, he still lost. Make it make sense. He's meant to be the top guys, and he lost before a pay-per-view. Anyway, I'll say bronze, and that's me being generous. Collision, Mark Briscoe went over Lance Archer to get into the fatal 4-way. GYV, why they weren't going after the Young Bucks at All Out, I don't know, but they beat the Iron Savages. Orange Cassidy knocked off Brian Keys to get into the fatal 4-way. The Outrunners beat Davey Bang, sounds like a porn star, and August Matthews. Takeshita beat the Beast Mortis. Hikaru Shida knocked off Deonna Purrazzo. Remember when Deonna Purrazzo was this big, Deonna Purrazzo is AEW, and now she loses nearly every week. Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club knocked off the Elite. That really should have been the main event. It probably was, I don't know. Mr. Kate took a loss to Queen Amanita. House of Black lost to MMX Collection, which is Mansoor and Mace. Lost to House of Black, and Hologram, Dustin Rhodes, and Sammy Guevara beat the Dark Order. Again, a bronze. Let's get into the wonderful, the fantastic All Out. Now, I will give it to AEW and say that they make their 0-hour pre-show buy-in 10,000 names they have for it. Must see. They had 4 matches and a segment with Mariah May and Sky Blue. That's cool for free. But that's good. The rest what I'm going to talk about spoiled it. So let me quickly go through everything that happened on the 0 hour. The Acclaimed over the Iron Savages. Okay. Bam Gang over the Dark Order. Okay. Undisputed Kingdom knocked off Top Flight, Shane Taylor Promotions. Okay. And Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram over the Premier Athletes. Okay. Are you aware? Do you know who Daniel Garcia is? Was he on the Dynamite you watched that was in Wales?
I don't remember if he was. Is he part of the Jericho entourage?
No, no.
Then I'm gonna say no. I think I know who he is though, but
he does a dance like
Yeah.
Like this, and this doesn't really slow down, and that's why he's over. People never say, "Oh, remember this good match he's had." Remember the dance,
I mean,
which he
that's
never won to the wrestler.
if you think about it, that's how Fandango got put over too. So
Okay, but well, okay, true. Yeah, Fandango was never a good wrestler, but MJF knocking off Daniel Garcia. I think Garcia should have won, but he didn't. I think it was Chris Statlander versus. Give me a second. I'll look at on Wikipedia. I'll look at the match order. Give me 1 second. So many matches. Oh no, it's the Young Bucks taking on Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta. Young Bucks retain. I wasn't shocked. It should have been GYV, but it wasn't. Any thoughts about this?
I don't like no.
Will Ospreay taking on Pac. Good match. Good to see 2 UK guys in this match. Will Ospreay retaining. No shocker there. And then he goes backstage and calls out. So I don't know who's face, who's heel. I have no idea what's. If I don't understand, anybody in news will be like, what's happening here? So Will Ospreay kind of turned heel, and Ricochet then came on the screen, and even at a less scripted promo, Ricochet is still bad. It looks like so he says to Ricochet, rack up the wins, and then you get to face me. Very little storyline. The only storyline here is they used to face each other in New Japan or whatever it was. That's the only real storyline here. Your thoughts on Will Ospreay winning, if you've got any?
I've never seen a match from that man, so I don't got nothing to say.
Do you remember Pac in WWE? He was never in WWE. Did you think
I've seen Pac matches, but they don't tell me nothing about Will Ospreay.
True, and they wanted to turn him in. I don't know if you've heard the rumor. Vince wanted him to be like a Mighty Mouse gimmick.
Yeah, I did hear that, and that's why he left. That makes sense.
Then he had Gold. He was a former NXT champion, former Cruiserweight champion. Chris Statlander, Chicago Street Fight, taking on Willow Nightingale, your brand new CML Women's Champion, to a second match of the night with blood. So the first time you see blood, cool. The second time, cool. The third time, it's just more of the same. More of the same. More of the same. More of the same. Okay. Let's move on. Okada defeating Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Takeshita. Still Cruiserweight Champion. I would have given it to Cruiserweight Champion. Continental Champion. I would have given it to Takeshita. I know you watched Okada on Dynamite in Wales. You weren't that impressed with Okada?
No, I was not impressed with them. Listen, I understand everybody's hype about him, but I listen to those of y'all that's Okada fans. What am I supposed to be looking for? Because he's not impressive.
He fits in AEW. That his style fits, but
I'm not impressed.
Mercedes Moné retained against Hikaru Shida, still TBS Women's Champion. No shocker. That match 3 weeks ago on Dynamite, but then you were meant to believe, this is where Shida's winning. Bryan Danielson still your AEW World Champion. Jack Perry with a good showing. There were times I thought Perry could do it, so it got me hooked. This is the only good match on the card, one and only. After the match, here comes they beat Blackpool Combat Club. I know Christian comes out to cash in and he can cash in anytime. It's kind of like Money in the Bank briefcase type deal.
What? Wait.
He's kind of like that. He won the contract in All In. He's got a contract. He's kind of like Money in the Bank, but it's a contract. So copying WWE yet again, Tony Khan. So it's the same deal, basically.
Well, I got a fun fact for you. I got a real quick fun fact. Did you know WWE copied that gimmick from another organization?
Did they?
Yeah, Feast or Fire.
Did they not do that way?
Feast or Fire was before Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank started at Mania 21.
Yeah, and Feast or Fire was before that Mania.
Yeah, I suppose it's okay loosely. Did they use ladders in Feast or Fired?
It's on a pole.
Well, of course it is. Vince Russo booked it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the same deal. You can cash it anytime.
Insane.
But here come Blackpool to stop him. They turned on Bryan Danielson and suffocated him with a plastic bag over his head. What part of that was wrestling? I do not know. Suspension of disbelief. The one thing wrestling isn't is real. They made it real, and now they can't share that on social media to pull in more fans. Tony Khan books it, and they can't pull in more fans by sharing it. Then don't book it. Like what? Ugh. So he's playing Moxley, Danielson at Wrestle Dream. Now that convinced me Moxley could get it done. Or does he set up for Christian cashing in? Your thoughts on Danielson retaining, if you've gotten it, and him being suffocated?
I don't really have Jungle Boy, if he even goes by that anymore, from what I remember, I haven't seen him wrestle in like 2-3 years. Pretty good in the ring. Him and Brian Danielson. How the fuck you say the American Dragon's name? Work well. I can imagine them two working well because the American Dragon is literally the best wrestler on the planet. Yeah. Him getting suffocated with a plastic bag is wild shit. Man, AEW, this is their attempt at trying to get people talking about the product, which it does. I mean, we're talking about it, so
it does, but people aren't going, oh, that was a small, tiny, little niche part of the audience is going, it wasn't that great. And the most people are going, what the fuck was that? Bye. Never watch it again. So this and the main event, I'll just go through all the crazy spots that I remember. Just now depleted the audience. So, and they did all of this in a match that doesn't count because it was lights out, which means it was unsanctioned, which the result doesn't count. So that makes it even more stupid. But they use cinder blocks. Hangman Page had a barbed wire. He was in a stab. What part of this is? I don't know where the wrestling was in this, but trying to stab Swerve with a shank. He then, oh God, removes his grill, injects him, he drugged him, and then smashes him over the head, unprotected chair just breaks into pieces. All for nothing, because the result doesn't matter. And they're pulling up another rematch anywhere. I don't know where the wrestling was in that. And I know you asked a question about GCW later. I'll answer that in a minute. Is GCW wrestling? I'll answer that in a second. But your thoughts on this, if you have any?
there is non-sanctioned matches. It's not that it doesn't count. The reason why it's not sanctioned because they don't want to be liable for what they do to their opponent. That's why it's called an unsanctioned match. It's a match where in which you can do whatever you want. It's just not sanctioned because you're supposed to be doing whatever you can to maul or to incapacitate whoever your opponent is. That's why they call it non-sanctioned. Yeah, the syringe, the spot with the syringe going in Swerve's mouth, that was wild shit. Like, I saw that on the internet and I was like, hey, fucking yo, what the fuck is that? That's that's one of those moments and it's not usual. I agree with you, Ricky. But that's something I 100% agree with you on. Like, that's fucking weird.
And even if that was to numb him so he wouldn't feel the chair shot, it only numbs the muscles, so he's probably broke his neck or at least a concussion. It could have killed him. The chair just smashed right over his head. Like, have we learned nothing from Chris Benoit or anybody else that's suffered concussion? Like, what again? I'm gonna go back to what wrestling isn't. Real suspension of disbelief. They're not really hurting each other. They are hurting each other because they're going on being slammed on a steel and wood ring. But that's part of the game. That's part of what they're signing up for. They're not signing up to be drugged and smashed over the head with a steel chair. I don't know who their audience is. Like, Tony Khan wants to be WWE and copy these things. But then depletes the audience with crap like this. So, rated, I'll say a silver just for the craziness and for Brian Perry. Is GCW, I'll answer the question here, is GCW wrestling? Yes. It's got wrestling in the title. They've got a ring and they've got an entranceway. They've got wrestlers. But I ran over it a little like GCW. They came and did a show over here with a show that is the company that is known for the extreme violence. So they fitted in with them. So that was cool. It was cool to see GCW. I know that Dominic's done a show there. Shane has done a show there recently. I think someone else did from WWE. I know it was like Ryder won the title. Outside of that, or Matt Cardona, outside of that, no idea. But I would imagine that every match is blood-soaked all over the ring. I don't know. But you'll be able to tell me more about GCW, I'm guessing.
I barely know much about GCW. I think the thing that GCW is most known for are their death matches.
They can't be that dangerous if Triple H sent Shayna and Dominic there. I'm guessing they actually do proper wrestling.
Who said that Shayna was doing a death match? Who said Dominic was doing death matches? Right? Their most known entity is that match type, which is a death match.
Do you remember Nick Gage? Remember him?
Yeah. He's the king of the death match, or was the king of the death match until Matt Cardona beat him.
And he used on Raw, I nearly said Raw, on Dynamite, he used a pizza cutter across Jericho's head.
During Domino's, like a Domino's, what was it, picture-in-picture.
Very bad timing, very bad.
That was hilarious. I laughed my ass off when that happened. That was during the time period I was watching, I would watch AEW.
And I think they got a backlash for that. Domino's went, remove everything. You're never doing that ever again. If you want us to promote any associated with you whatsoever, you can't be doing that. And I think Nick Gage got fired. So
I'm gonna give All Out. Is it All Out?
All Out, yeah.
I'm gonna give All Out a bronze minus because it doesn't sound. Even though I ain't watch it don't sound like something I wanted to watch. I
think I'm done. Not done. I'll watched the other 3 pay-per-views for the rest of the year, and then I'm probably they're getting worse and worse and worse. It's like every match is a WrestleMania card. Every match has got 12 matches. Every match is 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, and it's like, again, I said this when I went over All In. Where's the breathing space? Like, just match. Let me catch up. Let me take in what just happened.
All right. Well, let's Ricky. Let's move on to the next segment,
Which is news and rumors, not rumors, headlines, and we've got plenty of that to talk about. 4 pieces of news, but let me play this first.
To never miss a second, never miss an upload, never miss anything I do, and never miss when I go live doing Watch Parties and my brand new podcast. Live Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. The Reigning Rock Podcast. And me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pate. Whilst there, search on Facebook, WWA World Wrestling Alliance. Follow me on X at Ricky Goldmans. Head over to Pro Wrestling Tees and search Goldmans1 and head over to my YouTube channel. Search, like, and subscribe to the People's Wrestling Channel. That once again, the People's Wrestling Channel.
That is right, the multi-electrifying channel there is just 3 subscribers away from 380. Like and subscribe on my social screen right now. And yes, it's not Wednesday night. It is, of course, weekends, Saturday, Sunday, Reigning Rock Podcast. Next one will be next Saturday. Hopefully, OVW wrestler Icon Lee will be dropping by. Let's wait and see. So, final segment is this one right here. So news and headlines will start strong, will finish strong. So, of course, the man not the man himself, but the man that has drawn in more views than Sasha, Okada, and I think Ospreay combined, Odessey Jones, fired by WWE. So, 2 things here. 1, that leaves New Day just doing nothing. And the rumors are domestic violence. That's all I really know. If you want to know more, it's all over X, Twitter, call it what you like. So, yeah, I can't see any company wanting him. If he's maybe TNA later down the line, possibly, but not yet. So, your thoughts on Odessey Jones being fired?
I've shared this before in the group chats, as well as after we did Sportcle with Ian. Triple H ain't playing this shit. He don't care who you are. He don't care if it's someone in catering or if it's someone elsewhere. You do something messed up, you're getting fired. There's no suspension. You're getting fired. Triple H's not playing that shit. You're getting fired. That's it. So that was the right move. If it's proven to be false, then yeah, he'll get picked up by TNA, AEW, whoever. But as of right now, no one should.
And even if it isn't false, when it all blows over, it'll be picked up by hopefully TNA or maybe back to WWE. Well, okay, if it's true, he's not back to WWE. But if I was his career advisor, if I was his manager, TNA. Do you feel sorry for the New Day? I'll say they were probably leading to Woods turning heel, and now nothing.
I don't, because it allows WWE to figure out what to do. Right? You could keep them off of TV for a minute and allow them just to figure out what they want to do with the New Day storyline, with the AOP. Let them figure that out first. I mean, not the AOP, Final Testament. Allow them to figure it out.
Piece of news too, nothing groundbreaking, but for those watching Bad Blood live, as well as you, Marcus, if you're watching it live, it starts 1 hour early because UFC is the same day, so they don't want to clash. So yeah, an hour early. So for those that watched the pre-show, that will be 10 p.m. UK time, 11 p.m. main show starts. So any thoughts on that and any Bad Blood being an hour early?
Nah, not really. I don't really got nothing to say about that. I mean, yeah, that's what's up.
I don't know if you noticed on Raw, but it looks like they're now using subtitles around the arena. So I'm guessing for when Dominic Mysterio talks, you were looking away from the ring, which isn't good, but it's so people can read and at least hear what he's saying. And I know someone put on Facebook, for deaf people, why would deaf people be going to a wrestling show when they cut promos? So I think it's more for when Dominic Mysterio talks, so people aren't missing it. So I love that WWE are trying new things. What are your thoughts on this?
That's good. Deaf people also want to enjoy wrestling too.
Well, now they can. Now they can. Before this, they couldn't be like, what are they saying? And final piece of news, it's coming back, and that is Saturday. It's currently just a house show, I think. Saturday night's main event coming back, so that means another pay-per-view, because it was a pay-per-view and TV special all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Your thoughts on the return of Saturday night's main event?
No thoughts. It's whatever. Saturday night's main event was something that was cool before I was even born. Yeah,
I remember they brought it around, was it 2008? They brought it.
They brought it back. It was still like, no one, whatever.
I remember the team. I think it was Kane, Doink, Viscera, Eugene, Kevin Thorne, I think, was in the match, and somebody else. It was like, just let's throw all these wacky people into one match. When you look at that lineup, he's like, what were they thinking? Anyway, that's us done for tonight. Do join us, like I said, Saturday. Hopefully, all VW wrestler Icon Lee will be dropping by. I'm now going to go and watch a movie, and you'll have to find out next week what that movie is. Sorry, not next week, Saturday, what movie I will be watching as soon as I go off here. But any final thoughts, Marcus?
Like, share, subscribe.
And you've got us and it's bling bling, ching ching.
Bling bling, there's always money overhead.
That is right. And as Marcus said, like, subscribe, acknowledge, electrify, and always remember, if wrestling is the game, excellence is the name, and I am Ricky Goldman. Good night, guys, and see you on
Saturday.